Hello everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the famous legends of New Mexico. Strangely enough, we were going to Arizona today to look for further evidence of the legend. Most people think it's in western New Mexico, so it'll be a big surprise to most people if we find it's in Arizona. We might do that today. We're going to be localizing the area of the Lost Atoms, hopefully down to like a circle with a diameter of maybe 5-10 miles, something like that. That would be good. That would be that would be a good accomplishment for today. So I am actually driving to Quemado now, and from Quemado I'm going to go west to Springerville, and somewhere along the way we're going to set another base point and see where the direction vectors go. We'll go ahead and follow them as best we can and see where we end up today. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to specify another anchor point, and that anchor point is going to be the canyon Snot. If you remember from the legend, the Apache chief Nana told Adams that that's where they were, in the canyon Snot. So I set the new anchor point to try to compare that to the location of Lost Atoms. If the legend's consistent, they should be the same place, but we'll find out. But that's just another way of verifying the location and proving the consistency of the legend. So I'll see you in a little bit, somewhere towards Springerville. We'll set the first base point and we'll get started with the exploration. Okay, I'm here west of Quemado at the Arizona state line. This is going to be NM base 2. So NM base 2, the coordinates will be on your screen. And we're going to get two vectors from here, the Lost Atoms and also the canyon Snot. So let me get those and I'll be right back. Lots of mountains around here. The area to the south, a huge area, is the Apache National Forest. Lots of rugged area with mountains and rugged terrain. Okay, here are the vectors for the two anchor points. And I'm about to head west on over to Springerville and set another base point over there and get some more data. So, see you in a little bit. All right, I am headed south out of Springerville into the Apache National Forest. This is actually the White Mountains. And ironically enough, this is the exact trail that Coronado used when he came north from Mexico to look for the 7 cities of Cibola. So everything ties together by coincidence, it looks like. So it's kind of strange, but not really. So we're gonna go down south here in the forest a few miles. We're gonna set another base point because this is where the direction vectors are leading, and we're gonna get the area narrowed down pretty close down here on this trip, I believe. So see you shortly when we'll do New Mexico base 3. So this will be New Mexico base point 3, NM base 3. And I'm going to get 2 direction vectors here, one for the Lost Atoms and one for the Canyon Snot. And we'll see where it goes, but things are pointing south. And I'm just in the edge of the Apache National Forest. And it looks like this is where the Lost Atoms are going to end up, in the Apache National Forest. So let me get the vectors and I'll post them on your screen and you'll see it right here. And then we'll head south. Okay, I'm about maybe 2 or 3 miles north of the last base point, MM Base 3. And I'm driving along south on this, this is 180, I believe. Anyway, this road through here, this is Coronado's trail. This is the trail he came north on from Mexico. But I saw this and I had to stop and take some video of it. This is a double cone-shaped little mountain here. I mean, these 2 perfect cones right together. So I don't know whether this has anything to do with the, you know, the mountains Gotchier talked about. They're definitely not 100 miles away. But I just thought it might be important later, so I wanted to stop and get some video of them. But headed south. Okay, I am just south of Alpine, 2 or 3 miles, and it seems to be the area, so I'm going to set a base point here and get a couple of vectors for the targets, and I will put them on your screen so you can see where they're going. But this place is high in the mountains and it's very rugged. You could get lost in here really easily. This little valley is running east and west. We're looking west right here. And it runs up this way to the east. Goes downhill down here around the corner to the left. But this is the canyon known as Snot. And this is the area of the Lost Atoms gold diggings. Very high in the mountains here, Apache National Forest. We're above 8,000 feet here, so it's pretty high. But we're gonna go try to find the cabin. Gonna try to locate a couple of other things. Boy, I don't know about a waterfall. That may be difficult, but we'll see. We'll see what turns up. All right, we're headed up to find the cabin now. And it should be right up this way somewhere. We're going up the hill here from the canyon. There's the canyon right there. There's the bottom of it. And we're headed up this hill to see if we can find the cabin. According to the anchor point, the cabin should be up here about 200 or 300 feet. So that would be like a major accomplishment to find that. Because this area we're in, nobody has any idea anything like the Lost Adams is even around here anywhere. Seriously. But this is bear country, and got to keep an eye out for these creatures because they may be hungry, you know. But probably be a good idea to build the cabin, you know, up here on the hill a little ways, out of the valley. First of all, it's kind of hidden up here. I'm sure there were a lot more trees back in those days. Looks like they had some kind of a fire or something here. I mean, there's you see a lot of burned trees, a lot of trees down. So at some point they probably had a fire. Because you shouldn't have all these dead trees sitting around. See all these new trees? These are like maybe 10, 15 years old, something like that. So I could probably find out if I tried, but we'll see. Where's that cabin? I'm up on the north hillside overlooking the canyon Snot. And this is about my best guess for the cabin according to the directions. All these rocks, looks like somebody brought a lot of these rocks in here because compared to the rest of the slope here, it's not really natural because down here they're just scattered all over the place. And right here they're all together. And this area looks like it's been dug out a little bit. It's probably dug out a long time ago. We're talking about 160 years ago when the Adams crew came in here and started building the cabin. But I don't see any evidence really of human activity other than all these rocks are, you know, piled up right here. I don't really see any evidence of walls. But a lot can happen in 160 years, and Somebody may have knocked the stones down intentionally to cover up the location. It's a good possibility. Okay, I'm just up the hill just a few feet on the other side of this tree where the cabin is supposed to be. And I was looking up here at the rocks for, you know, signs someone had been here. And a lot of evidence that somebody has broken these rocks, dropped them or thrown them or whatever. You see this? That's broken. This rock is completely broken in half. It's probably done when somebody dropped it or threw it over here. That's a pretty good flat brick that if I was building a cabin, I would use it for a wall or put it on the fireplace. And here's some more instance. Look at this. Look at these bricks. Look at that. Some mechanical force caused that. You could say it's weathering and age, but look at this. Look at this. That came off that piece of rock there. Completely broken. Something happened here. You can say for sure something happened because you have all these rocks stacked up here, and a lot of them are broken. Some of them are. I see quite a few that are broken. But it looks like, from what I can see, is at some point this huge tree started growing in the middle of where the cabin was. It could be 100, could have started growing here 120, 130 years ago. But there's been a fire here and it was burned down. So a lot has happened here over the last 160 years. But I would say this is the area. This is the cabin. This is where it was. Probably wasn't much of a cabin. Probably a makeshift cabin with they probably started with, you know, it's cold up here, so they're going to start with the fireplace first. Build the fireplace first and then build the walls around the fireplace. Cut some logs, throw some logs over the roof, and you've got a shelter. You can call it a cabin if you want, but it's not what most people would think of as a cabin. But it's a good shelter, you know. We're over 8,000 feet up here in the mountains, and it gets cold here in the night, even in the summer. So you need some kind of shelter here. Well, I'm going to continue this exploration later for this cabin, and we'll leave it here for now. But I think we pretty much nailed down the location here. I like to see some clear evidence, but that may take a little bit of hunting, but I think it should be here. People always leave signs of their activity, you know. Always. I am here in a little valley they used to call Snot. Now they call it Williams Valley, but we've been calling it a canyon, but it's not a canyon. It's a little valley, or you can say a vale. I think a vale is like a small valley. I even think Adams described it as a vale, so this surely fits that bill, you know. Standing here at this location they called the Divide. This is the east end of the little valley, and this little hill you see right here divides the valley between east and west. To the west is Snot Valley. On the other side of this little rise is the San Francisco River, which runs down into, by the city of Alpine. And there's no water running back this way, but the Adams Waterfall is about, I say, a quarter of a mile on the other side of the rise, on the other side of the divide. So the waterfall actually drains down to the east towards Alpine. So it's not really a box canyon, but you can think of it as kind of a box canyon, with the divide being one end of the canyon. We're at the divide, so I guess you can say it's kind of a box canyon, but it's not even a canyon, it's a valley. Canyon, has steep sides and has a stream running through it. And the stream is actually what creates the canyon by eroding the rocks and dirt away over thousands, hundreds of thousands of years to create the canyons. Look at the Grand Canyon. They've been working on that millions of years, So the thing about this valley is there's almost no slope to the drainage. I mean, it drains a little bit and it slows down and hits a little ridge and stops, and then keeps on going a little bit to the west down here. But I'd say the overall slope is no more than 2 or 3 degrees, which is almost nothing. And you can't have a river with only a slope of 2 to 3 degrees around here, because there's not enough water when it rains or when the snow melts to create a river, or even a medium-sized stream. There's a little bit of a runoff, but that's the extent of it. There is some water down here because they built a little dam to hold the water in. I think they have cows out here for some reason, part of the year. But this is it. This is Snot Valley. We'll call it Snot Valley from now on. And back around here over this ridge, we're going to take a look at it. Is where the water really drops down is probably what they're calling the waterfall. And the stream that goes down towards Alpine is really curvy. You can say it zigzags. And that's exactly the zigzag canyon that Adams was talking about. So the zigzag canyon goes from the waterfall area over to the east, and then it keeps going down to the east to the old ancient trail. Natives have been using this trail for thousands of years to go from north to south down into Mexico. And everybody calls it the Coronado Trail, but he just used the trail that was already there. He has his name on it, but that's about it. And I would say we're about 3 miles to the west of the Coronado Trail right here. So Coronado walked right past the place when he was going to find the city of Cibola. Well, walked right past it because you can't see this area over here. All you can see is a little drainage canyon down here going toward the city of Alpine. But that's history. That is history. Okay, I'm down completely to the end of the canyon, or the valley to the east. And looking back up this way, this goes up to the divide and on down into Snot Valley. But I'm down here to the east where the water runs downhill to the east back towards Alpine. And you see these trees down here, that's where it really drops off. There's where the waterfall is. And if you remember what Adam said, they came out of the zigzag canyon right there where those trees are, for sure. And, you know, there were no roads or trails through here. Adams and the whole gang, they had to come up the canyon right by the stream. This is San Francisco River. And they came up right here, probably right through here where we're walking now. And I believe Adams says he comes through the volcanic field and comes out onto a, you know, a little valley. Oh, this is it. This is the place. And it goes around the corner around there, and it goes up to the little divide and then down the hill into Snot. But I can see why the Apaches use this for an account, because it's secluded, it's got water, and I bet there was plenty of game around then for hunting, you know. So they had everything they needed right here. But this would be a summer camp. This wouldn't be a winter camp. You don't want to be here in the winter, because this place is going to fill up with snow very quickly. So I've located Snot Valley. I've located the cabin. I've located the waterfall. And dang, the only thing I haven't located is any gold around here. You know, if I didn't know the story, I would say there's no gold around here. But I'm not saying there's not any gold around here, but I can't find it. And I look pretty good. We're over 8,000 feet here in the mountains, and this is the type of area where you could definitely find you know, a seam of gold, you know, in the mountain that is exposed somewhere and eroded away. But as far as golden nuggets littering the valley, you can forget that right now, because I can tell you that's not the way it is. You know, everything here I found except the gold, and maybe one day I'll find some of that too. Who knows? But it's mid-December. I was lucky to get this in before the big snows come, because soon this whole area will be covered just like this over here. It'll be covered with 2 or 3 foot of snow. Okay, well, I'm going to call this a route for the Lost Adams. Lost Adams is now found. This is in the Apache National Forest. And they have rules you have to go by. You can't just come out here and start digging holes in the ground. So if you do want to look for any gold out here, I think you need to check in with the ranger station at Alpine. And maybe they'll give you a permit. Maybe they'll say you can't do it. I don't know. I haven't talked to them about it. I haven't had any need to, really. So I'm just telling you to stay legal. Don't do anything illegal. But definitely, when you have time and you're in the area, this is just a beautiful place to come by itself. Even if there's no gold here, you know. It's a little bit of a disappointment, because the way the story goes, it's just laying all over the ground. But of course, that's legend, you know. People embellish it. All right, guys. Well, this is the end of the episode 2. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time, and we'll be looking for that lost city of Cibola. This was actually pretty easy to find. I'm surprised how easy it was to find. I thought I would be working on this for weeks and months, but a couple of days and that's it. Done. I'm done. So, all right, guys. See you next time. Doc Savage Explorations. I'm Jeff. See you later.